I keep wondering when this bromance between Trump and Elon Musk is going to blow up like a SpaceX rocket. But for now, at least, it appears to be going strong.
Elon Musk and the DOGE team are finding trillions of dollars that the Democrats and the Uniparty have stolen from us, the American citizen. We, the citizens, they've stolen our money. I've said it for years, fell on deaf ears. Now they're bringing the receipts. Thank you once again, Elon. Thank you, DOGE team, for finding my money. That's all I care about. All this ideological bullshit, shove it up your ass. I don't want to hear about it. I literally don't care. I don't care. I don't want to hear it. Save me your violins. I don't want to hear about it. I don't care. Kick rocks. They're finding money. Now we can talk. You talking about my money? Come on. Sit down, pull up a chair, let's have a conversation.
Yes, Democrat nightmare. Trump sent this out few hours ago. Elon is doing a great job, but I would like to see him get more aggressive. Remember, we have a country to save, but ultimately to make greater than ever before. MAGA. Elon must reply, would do, Mr. President. A lot of people, went crazy about this tweet. When you take a look at the whole situation, now Democrats are panicking. Yes, I will tell you the truth. The greatest nightmare that Democrats are having right now is Elon Musk. They are thinking that, if these guys succeed to give $5,000 to everyone, it is over for the Democrat Party. Imagine saving your money, then giving it back to you. Just imagine that on a campaign trail, how the people will feel. Democrats can do everything possible to stop this because they know this is their weak point.
The worst thing for the Democrat Party right now would be if it actually works. The worst thing for the Democrat Party is if the debt does go down.
I'll be honest with you, the worst thing, you're right, but honestly, the worst thing that could happen is Elon gives out them $5,000 stimulus checks.
Oh, it's over.
He give out them $5,000 stimulus checks.
It's a wrap.
It's going to be bad for a while.
Imagine what people will feel when they go, by the way, this isn't us giving you money. This is us giving you your hard-earned money back. You deserve this.
Listen, from a political marketing perspective, it's genius.
Because they understand what people are feeling. And the Democrats, instead of crying about all this and labeling him big bad man and all this other stuff, they should really be paying attention to what the American people are feeling and finding ways for their policies to have messaging that taps into what Americans are feeling. Don't gaslight them.
I'm with you.
You have to understand what they're feeling and then implement policies that tap into that.
And
Yes, that is not all. There is a video coming from CNN. If you are to do something, please take a break and watch this video to the end. This founder, the person who came up with this idea of giving $5,000 and Trump endorsing it, had a segment on CNN. This was a big exchange. I have never seen this before. How can you send money to Ukraine, send into other places, then giving $5,000 to everyone is a problem to Democrat? Why?
Waste, fraud, and abuse. And by the way, James, I hope that he is. I don't like the approach, but I like the fact that something's being done. There is no money in the till. We owe $36 trillion. We owe $106,000 each. So whatever the savings ought to be, it's not like President Trump's doing us a favor by giving us 20%. Everything ought to go to the debt because the Peterson people say by 2050, 50% of all revenue is going to go to satisfying interest on the debt. We should be paying the debt. Your response?
My response is this. We should be paying the debt, which is why the DOGE dividend incentivizes every American to call out waste, fraud, and abuse, to lower the budget, to narrow the deficit, and to bring down the debt. Where was this emergency over the debt when we sent $350 billion to Ukraine to be wasted? Where was this emergency, Michael, on CNN when you guys were advocating $7,000 to migrants in Chicago? $7,000 a month per migrant, and now we want to spend $5,000 one time from President Trump to hard hardworking Americans. The migrants didn't deserve $7,000 a month. Hardworking Americans deserve a $5,000 check with President Trump's name on it. So enough with the double standard. Ukraine did not deserve $350 billion.
Okay, listen to me. Listen to me. This is Madoff-like. This is a Ponzi scheme.
No, Ukraine was a Ponzi scheme. The migrant funding was a Ponzi scheme. Hardworking Americans deserve a break.
James,
it was their money, Michael. It was their money.
James, give me a chance to speak. Theoretically, it's my program. We don't have the money, is what I'm trying to tell you. It's a Ponzi.
So we didn't have the money for Ukraine, right? We didn't have the money for Ukraine. $350 billion.
I never do this. I don't want to be that guy. And do I have to silence your microphone so that I can respond to what you've said? Because there's so much fallacy in what you've just offered.
Please go ahead and refute it.
I have a very simple premise here. We're $36 trillion in debt. It's a fraud. As much as I want to see us cut waste, fraud, and abuse, it is an absolute fraud to say to the American people, because of what Musk is doing, we have $5,000 to give each of you. The only way we have $5,000 is if we're borrowing it, because we're that far in debt. I'm trying to meet you halfway, which is simply to say, what a good thing that finally we're going to look at waste, fraud, and abuse, albeit it shouldn't be in this haphazard fashion. But let's at least be honest with the American people that whatever we quote-unquote save, we already owe. Now I'm going to give you 30 seconds to respond, and then I'm going to say see you later. Go ahead.
Michael, let me say this. We're fellow Americans. We care about this issue, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to come on this program, but I got to speak truth here. At the end of the day, we've got to send the money back that is saved, just 20% of it. The other 80% goes down to paying the national debt and narrowing the deficit. To your point, yes, there has been a fraud against the American people, the Green New Scam, Ukraine, the migrant crisis. Their taxpayer dollars were sent abroad, were not sent at home, were not spent in America, not on health care, not on education. That ends with President Trump's leadership today. He is delivering on his promise of major government reform, Michael. The DOGE dividend plan is bold, and Americans support it.
All right, I'm calling time on all of that. I appreciate your being here. I think we've each, I hope, made our respective points. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to get to the economics. Come on, I gave you a chance for a great sound bite. You got and those soft power exercises make for great sound bites. But when you drill down, for example, on Sesame Street in Iraq, they often make sense. Joseph Nye from Harvard, who gets credited with the coinage of the word soft power, you'd rather spend on that than bullets. But wait, you want to talk about
there was a terrorist attack in Iraq last month that killed 40 people. It's clearly not working. Soft power and Sesame Street are not working.
The mainstream media hate people that are outspoken like this. Look at how they're struggling to cover this guy. He's speaking the truth. They hate this truth. And it is insane to me. They have done a lot. People have been suffering. This is their hard-earned money. Now, giving back $5,000 to everyone, why is it a problem? Okay, they didn't even mention that time or didn't force the Biden administration to pay off that debt with the money they sent out. Now Trump came up with his own idea to cut waste. They're now looking into that money. If Trump struggled to pay the debt to a certain level, you need to appreciate him for doing what he's doing right now. I understand these people think this is a big political point. It is. Yes. It's a genuine something that, in fact, I don't know how I can call it. If you see these people calling it a Ponzi scheme, know there is something in it. Reason, the panic is reaching to this level. I understand why they're doing this.
Business of giving out money. And honestly, I don't know what $5,000 will do for you.
There is a lot of waste, fraud, and abuse in the federal government, though.
I'm not going to say that there's a lot. I'm going to say that it does exist. The fact that I'm rooting for Canada and I'm rooting for Mexico a lot is really wild. But they are really the ones that are speaking truth to power right now. They can see what it is. And they were like, we are not messing with this crazy regime from Mar-a-Lago. And basically the truth.
It perplexes me and also infuriates me why the media continues to make excuses for our government spending billions and billions of dollars in wasteful money.
Right.
Maybe they don't mind, but I know there's millions of people watching that do mind. So we're going to keep doing what we're doing with DOGE.
It was a pretty incredible exchange where it was like 71 billion has been spent on fraudulent payments. And
thank you guys who has been there sharing out my videos. God bless you abundantly. If you see clips after my videos, that is just for the algorithm. I make sure to always put it helps the channel.
Whiplash.
The mainstream media cannot ever say that anything this administration is doing is positive. So even if they find unbelievable corruption,
was digging through essentially the way that money is audited within the government, links to payments, outgoing payments, budget line items. So this payment goes out. What is it for?
What I've learned from this is that if you are not guilty of anything, you will not panic.
Thug, who is the president of the United States, U.S., it's everywhere.
There is a lot of waste, fraud, and abuse within a system.
Audits.
A chance to see what happens.
He does not treat the U.S. fairly on trade and that he has some big complaints. Is that true?
Right? And it doesn't mean that we should sit and pretend that it's suddenly okay, that this new presidency is just going to keep on keeping on. That is not the case. And
awful things have happened. So
and sparks move things. And it doesn't matter how much water you have.
Future president and his gag
are quality and policy.
The city of the Pacific Palisades is burning. And, I flew here last night. I was on a plane.
You getting water to areas that need...
He's been trained his whole life to do.
What do we do?
All right, right now you're looking straight. Remember it.
As a country about James.
Yeah, and then I think all our tax dollars probably went for Gavin's hair gel. I don't know.
Jim Jordan.
Josh Green, the governor.
Watch the news or talk.
Now look, I have a lot of...
The Democratic Party has about everything.
The next department that appears to be on the chopping block is the Department of Education. Just earlier today...
Thank you. Hey, now speaking of church, can I...
In common, they're all terrified of Ronan Farrow.
Is probably one of the most unintelligent billionaires.
They're on Team Chiefs. Literally right next to us was Taylor Swift. Those are boo.
So Trump has been in power for just a month.
Tyranny is rising in the White House.
You are a slave.